Okay, now in this video we'll talk about the homework 1's problem 5. So before we start to answer the question, we need to analyze what are the conditions given in this video in this problem. So there are 100 people are waiting for the blood test for kind of disease. The probability that for one person that test result is positive equals to 0.1. So now we can denote it. The probability one person gets the positive result is equals to 0.1. And now we know that here is a hidden condition that if one person gets positive, then they will definitely not be a negative. And similarly, if they are negative, they won't be positive. So these two are complementing ones. So here we can get if one person gets negative, the probability here is 1 minus 0.1 is equals to 0.9. And here we have two test methods as follows. One is to test each person one by one, then we'll have to do 100 tests. And method 2 is to divide 100 people into 10 groups with 10 people here in each. Then mix the 10 people blood that test that mixture. If the result is negative, then we will only need to do one test. And if the result for the mixture is positive, then we have to do 1 for the group and 10 for each member in this group test, which means we have to do 11 tests. And now in this problem we are asked that on the average, so in each average group, what is the number of the test on average, what is the number of the tests we need to do by the second method? So which means for the method 2 for the term for in average the 10 groups will how many times will test will be taken. And now we need to find what is the since find at least one person in this group is a little bit difficult. Is positive is a little bit difficult. So first we can find the probability for all people in the group are negative. We can find this first. So for to find this one, we can suppose that so as if we choose one person to test, the probability for they become negative is 0.9 and become positive is 0.1, and the probability for only one person to be negative is 0.9. And if we have the second person and still have probability to be 0.9 to be negative and 0.1 to be positive. And if these two events happen together, the probability should be, and both these two people won't affect each other's test result. So their probability will be 0.9 times 0.9. 0.9 times 0.9, and the probability for these two people to be negative will be 0.9 to the power of 2. And keep on doing. If we have the third person, I still have probability as 0.9, 0.1, and the probability will be 0.9 to the power of 2 times 0.9, which will be 0.9 to the power of 3. And keep on going to do it. We know that for all people in this group to be negative, here are 10 people, and each probability will be 0.9 to be negative, and here will be 0.9 to the power of 10. And so here, these all negative, all people are negative in the group will be in this probability, and its complement event will be at least one person will be positive. So you can find that the probability for at least one to be positive will be 1 minus this probability. And here we can find the expected value. Suppose the expected test number in this group is EX. And here, for all negative in the group will be 0.9 to the power of 10, and the expected value to find the expected test number will be found as the two conditions. Will be find this value for these two conditions and add them together, sum of them. So here, for all negative, we have this probability, and we only need to do one test. So in this part, we just 1 times 9 to the power of 10. And for the second condition, so at least one person to be positive, the probability here is 1 minus 0.9 to the power of 10. And in this case, we have to do 11 tests, so it's 11 times its probability. And now we can receive for one group, we have the around 7.5 times to do. And there are 10 groups. So for this result, finally we have to do 7.5 for one times test for one group, and then times 10, which is equals to 75 tests we have to do. So in general, in the average case, we have to do 75 tests in method 2. So we can also extend this problem to compare these two methods. So which one will use less test in average. So in the method 1, they will do 100 tests. And for method 2, as our calculation, we have only 75 tests. So definitely, obviously, the method 2 use the less test will save much work than the method 1.